coming! Oh my God, look at the size of it! Hang on, everyone, hang on! All right, men, all together now, heave. Almost there. Hold fast! She's coming aboard! Brace for impact. Get below deck now! It's coming down! Dig in, boys, dig in! Watch the tail! Pull! Heave, lads! Watch the deck! Pull! Heave! It's moving. Keep it coming. We got it, boys. Hold fast. Brace yourselves. It's heading for the main support. We need to secure the lower deck immediately. Lean into it. Pull! It's moving. Keep going. We almost got it.
Giữ chặt nó. Coi chừng cái đuôi. Téo mạnh sợi dây đó đi. Cần cẩu không chịu nổi đâu.
Watch the weight. Bring it up slow. Copy that. Watching the tension on the chains. All right, lift on 3. 1, 2, 3. Heave. Pull tight on the left side. Okay, we have the span here. Get the reading now.
1, 2, 3, ahora. Dale fuerza.
We need to secure it now before the waves get worse. All right, bring the net over here. Careful, everyone. Watch your footing. Pull in! Pull in! Pull in!
Brace for impact. Secure the lines now. It's diving. Hard to port.
Look out, incoming. Hold on. Are you all right back there?
Kéo mạnh vào.
Ôi trời ơi, đứt mất rồi. Nordheim to port. Keep securing the gear. Another big one coming. watch the cable tension.
Big wave coming, hold tight.
We're almost down, keep it steady. Pull it up. Watch the tail. Get the rope under it now. And heave. Pull. Now. Brace yourselves, here comes another one. Don't let go. Pull it tighter. Watch the cable, it's about to snap. Heave-ho! Heave-ho!
In the frigid North Atlantic, where the waves are rough and the winds howl day and night, the giant iron ship Nordheim plows into the deep, carrying 6 weather-beaten European fishermen in bright orange raincoats, black rubber overalls, yellow gloves, and black boots stained with salt. They are not just looking for fish, but also facing the stuff of legend, the creature known as the giant stingray, the ruler of the darkness of the ocean floor. As the radar beeps slowly, the huge, black figure moves slowly on the screen. The experienced eyes look at each other without speaking. Only the groaning of the iron chains and the whistling of the wind across the deck. They lower the cable into the inky water. The wind whips at the rain.
Pull it in now!
It's stuck, keep going.
Together! 1, 2, 3! All right, pull! Heave! Harder! Harder!
Giữ chặt dây thừng, đừng buông.
Nó mạnh quá! Kéo mạnh lên! Kéo lên!
Coats. The waves roll over the side. And then from the depths comes the first jerk. The bait has taken. The steel wire is taut as if about to snap. The hull shakes violently. The screams of the men and the roar of the sea merge into a fierce song. The giant stingray struggled crazily. Its huge body splashing water. Its propellers sweeping like a storm. Pulling the entire ship tossing in the wind and waves. 6 fishermen in orange raincoats clung tightly to the cable. Their veins bulging. Sweat and rainwater mingling together. Their breathing quickening amid the screeching of metal and the sound of waves hitting the ship's hull. The crane roared. The iron chains screeched loudly. And then the entire...
I'm trying, hold it steady.
sea seemed to explode as the giant stingray rose. Its giant wings blocking the lightning. Water pouring down like a waterfall. The scene made the entire ocean seem to stop, leaving only the heavy sound of the cable, rapid breathing, and the roar of the engine. Inch by inch, the giant stingray was pulled up, its several-ton body shaking violently as the iron crane lifted it out of the water. Water and blood dripping onto the deck like red rain. The 6 fishermen shouted loudly, their voices mingling with the thunder, their orange hoods gleaming under the white light. They threw chains, hooked hooks, and tied each of the giant flapping wings. The chains clanging against steel.
1, 2, 3, watch the cable. Get down. It's gonna break. Die. Harder, you organizer! Give us all you've got! Watch the line, tie it down now. Another big one coming. All right, hold on tight.
Incoming!
Steam rising from the hot deck. There was a loud bang from the engine. The crane shook violently. And then the giant stingray crashed onto the iron floor with a resounding sound of victory and exhaustion. The entire Nordheim tilted. Water and blood mixed together and flowed along the floor. The fishermen were exhausted but their eyes were bright. They had conquered the monster of the sea. Under the cold rain and the lightning that streaked across the sky, they stood there, warriors of the ocean, covered in mud, salt, and blood, looking into the distance where the dawn was beginning to break through the thick clouds. It was not just a fishing trip, but a life and death confrontation between small humans and the endless power of nature, where courage,
pull it up now. Hold her steady, we're losing the net. Secure that chain now, watch your hands. The winch is failing. Hold the line, pull harder.
solidarity. And Steely Will wrote the legend of the giant stingray of the North Sea. As the giant stingray lay motionless in the middle of the deck, steam rising hazily in the cold air, 6 fishermen in bright orange raincoats gasped, their yellow gloves stained with blood, their eyes reflecting the light from the headlights that were shining on its massive body. The waves were still roaring. The wind was still whistling through the mast. But now it seemed to be in harmony with the music of human victory over the sea. The giant iron crane continued to roar. The chains wrapped tightly around the giant stingray's body. Each pull was a dry, metallic sound that echoed in the fog. Like the ocean's last breath, the Nordheim rocked.
Hold the line steady! Pull it to the right, watch the swing! Secure the latch now! Hold the line. Easy on the swing. It's too heavy. We're losing it. Pull harder on the bow line.
Water poured over the deck.
It's caught on the
Lightning
winch.
reflected
Get
on the
loose
red
now.
water. The wind whipped hard, making the canvas
out for the
flap.
chains.
Under
Secure
the
the
white
mats
light,
now.
the bodies in orange raincoats moved in the storm like
Another wave
ghosts of the
incoming.
sea. Bent over, holding the ropes tightly, controlling the giant creature's last struggles. A violent blow shook the crane. The giant Stingray's body threw up a wall of water. But then the steel horn answered. The cables tightened.
Push it, push
The
it.
iron chains locked. And the monster stopped
Watch
in
your
a
hands there.
hoarse metallic breath. Six
It's giving way
fishermen
now.
stood there. Backs bent. Shoulders shaking. Breathing ragged. But eyes full of determination. The light shone down on the deck covered with
Pull it
water.
up now. Together, let's go.
Water and blood. Each drop rolling down the steel grooves, disappearing into the black ocean below. One fisherman turned the crane and lifted the giant Stingray high. The water dripping in streams like rain. The smell of sea and steel mingling in the cold air. The whole Nordheim seemed to groan under the terrible weight. The gears grinding. The cables vibrating with a deafening sound. The giant wings swaying in the yellow light like water-soaked sheets. Then the ship's whistle sounded. Long and deep. Like a declaration, the monster of the ocean had been subdued. On deck,
Get
the
that
rain
chain tight.
mixed with blood in a red stream.
It's almost locked.
The
One more
cold
click.
wind whipped at their faces. But no one said a word, only their eyes. Though
Heave! Get it secured now.
Coming about, watch the line.
All tight back here. Watch that wave! Bring the nets in now! Almost there, keep it moving!
those of the men in orange raincoats in the storm shone in the night like small flames against the raging sea. They approached, checked the chains, tapped each iron hook, carefully but firmly, the metal ringing steadily and powerfully. When the giant Stingray finally stopped struggling, its huge body lay still under the dim light, the last drops of water falling to the deck, and the wind also died down. 6 men stood upright, hoods soaked, golden hands gripping the cables. Watching their prey silently, they did not cheer, did not speak, just silently bowed their heads as if sending off a sea god. In the distance, the sky broke through the clouds. A faint streak of dawn.
090.
Alright, steady as she goes. Keep an eye on that radar.
light broke through the storm, illuminating the Nordheim's water-soaked hull. The scene, blood, water, steel, and men, blended into a sad, mournful melody. The sea still roared. But in that moment, perhaps the ocean itself bowed before the will of the orange-shirted fisherman who dared to face and subdue the giant stingray in the fury of nature. Dawn broke through the silver-grey sky, mist still lingering on the water-soaked deck of the Nordheim. 6 fishermen in bright orange raincoats, black rubber overalls, yellow gloves, and black boots stood silently, watching the giant body of the stingray lying motionless on the cold steel floor. They no longer shouted. No longer pulled. Only their steady breathing harmonized with the deep hum of the engine and the murmur of the ocean. One of them gently opened the water valve. Powerful jets washed away the remaining blood. Streams of red water flowed down the floor cracks and dissolved into the sea. The yellow light reflected off the mottled water, creating shimmering streaks of light on the giant grey-black skin that still glistened in the mist. The smell of salt, metal, and sea life blended into a flavor only those who had lived with the waves could understand. The giant iron crane began to move slowly, a deep rumbling sound echoing like the heartbeat of the ship. The giant stingray was lifted again, its heavy body shimmering in the morning light. The last
Together now! Hold the line!
drops of water falling to the deck like a memory of the ocean. 6 fishermen gripped the chains, adjusting the angle of the suspension, working in unison. The sound of wind and metal creating a rough but majestic music. Once the carcass was secured on the iron rack, they began the final work, cutting and preserving. The hacksaw blades screeched, cutting into the steel thick skin. Sprays of water and blood spraying in a fine mist, coating their bright orange clothes like paint of victory. They worked in silence. Only the sound of saws, waves, and breathing. Below them, the sea still churned. But now it was no longer fierce, but a long, endless sigh. When the last
Heave! Pull together now! Hold on tight, another wave coming! Grab the rail, don't let go! Secure the main line. Watch the surge on quadrant 4.
We're losing power to the stabilizers.
carcass was lifted into the cooler. The sun was higher, shining through the grey clouds in a brilliant golden light. The 6 fishermen raised their heads. eyes squinting in the glare, golden hands still clutching their tools. Their stern faces lit with quiet pride. They had done their job. The giant Stingray, a symbol of the sea's power, was now only part of legend. The crane was folded. The chains rolled. The deck washed clean. Only a few pale red streaks drifting in the current. The ship's whistle blew long, heavy, and deep, cutting through the mist. Nordheim began to turn toward land, the waves rolling in behind her like a farewell applause. 6 men in bright orange raincoats stood by the rail, looking out to the horizon, where the light met the sea, where they knew that even if they returned, the ocean would always demand courage, and would always remember the names of those who had conquered it.